Up in jury deliberations for the North County man accused of murdering his neighbor. A juror was dismissed for conducting his own experiments. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. The juror was replaced today and the deliberations restarted. 10 News reporter Steve Fiorina is live in Vista. And Steve, we hear the man on trial wanted to keep the juror.
Well, Kim, he did, but his attorney did not. Now, a jury's only supposed to hear evidence presented at trial. No outside influence whatsoever. But one of the jurors decided to bring some props to court today. He had a theory he had tested, and that's not allowed. He's off the case.
Went through my mind.
It's the murder trial of Michael Vilkin, a Russian immigrant who shot his next-door neighbor to death last year after a simmering feud over property rights in Liebenhain. The victim was John Upton, a documentary filmmaker who was profiled on ABC's 2020 for his efforts to rescue Romanian orphans. This was day 3 of jury deliberations, suddenly screeching to a halt. A bailiff was alerted that one of the jurors had brought contraband to the session, a breach of juror ethics.
And one of the things that they are absolutely not to consider is anything outside of the evidence that they heard in court.
That juror had items in his backpack that he had used in an experiment conducted at home, including wrapping paper tubes like these. The defendant wanted to keep the juror on the panel because he thought this showed he is thinking through the facts. Defense attorney Rich Birkin, though, objected to his staying on the jury, voicing fear that he was unstable. Judge Robert Kearney quickly ruled, quoting the court, after a hearing with both sides present, a juror has been dismissed from the Vilkin jury for juror misconduct.
This particular juror was doing exactly what the court had admonished him not to do, and that's experiments outside of the evidence that was heard, and then was trying to persuade other jurors with these outside experiments.
An alternate who sat through all the evidence was seated in place of the dismissed juror. Deliberations then restarted from the beginning. And they've gone home for the night. That reconstituted jury is back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. If Vilkin is convicted, he could face life in prison. Live in Vista, Steve Fiorina, 10 News.